I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's analysis of the news. Got just a little bit of house cleaning to do. I want you to notice this envelope. It is a return envelope to Prophecy in the News, and it's burned. We have this letter from the post office saying in the early morning hours of December 27, 2008, a contract carrier was transporting mixed classes of mail from Oklahoma City to Dallas. Unfortunately, the carrier was involved in an accident and the trailer caught fire. The mail was heavily damaged by fire and water. We're thankful there was no life-threatening injuries. The United States Postal Inspection Service secured the scene and determined that a portion of the mail was burned beyond recovery. We are making every effort to deliver every piece of the recovered damaged mail. The enclosed mail piece is being sent to you in the condition it was found. Well, we mailed out a lot of receipts around Christmas time, and it's entirely possible that the reason you haven't gotten your receipt is that it was burned beyond recognition. Just be patient then. We'll be sending out a January receipt, which will include a total to date for the entire year of last year. If you made any donations or bought any materials from us, we consider the receipt is necessary. You will be getting a receipt, and you'll be able to use it for tax purposes. So just have a little patience with us. We had a little problem with the post office, okay? I have an article here from WorldNet Daily that says that Henry Kissinger and Obama are primed to create a new world order. The article says conflicts across the globe and an international respect for Barack Obama have created the perfect setting for establishment of a new world order, according to Henry Kissinger, the Nobel Peace Prize winner and former Secretary of State under President Nixon. He said, and I quote, "The president-elect is coming into office at a moment when there is upheaval in many parts of the world simultaneously," Kissinger reported. You have India, Pakistan, you have the jihadist movement, so he can't really say there's only one problem, and that's the most important one, or that it's the most important one. But he can give new impetus to American foreign policy, partly because the reception of him is so extraordinary around the world. His task will be to develop an overall strategy for America in this period when, really, a new world order can be created. It is a great opportunity. It isn't just a crisis. Kissinger's comments came in an interview that he made on CNBC. This phrase, a new world order, traces back to at least the 1940s. Actually goes back further than that, but in the 1940s, author H.G. Wells used it as the title of a book that he published about a socialist unified one world government. The phrase has also been linked to American presidents, including Woodrow Wilson, whose work on the establishment of the League of Nations pioneered the concept of international government bodies, and to the first President Bush, who used it in a 1989 speech. George H.W. Bush said, quote, "A new partnership of nations has begun, and we stand today at a unique and extraordinary moment." He said this before a joint session of Congress, and I quote, "Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order, can emerge." George H.W. Bush, Papa Bush said, "A new era in which the nations of the world, east and west, north and south, can prosper and live in harmony." The phrase New World Order causes alarm for many Americans, particularly those concerned about an international governing body trumping U.S. sovereignty, are those that interpret biblical prophecy to foretell the establishment of a one-world government as key to the rise of the Antichrist. So, Henry Kissinger is in favor of a new world order and a one-world government, and he thinks that Barack Obama is just the man who can put it all together. Here's one more article coming out of Israel. You remember the 40 people who were killed in the UN school in Gaza? Well, here's an interesting twist. Hamas War crime leaves 40 dead at UN school. Israel is considering filing an official complaint with the United Nations after 40 Palestinians were killed on Tuesday when Hamas terrorists used a UN school as cover while attacking Israeli soldiers in Gaza. Aerial surveillance released by the Israeli army shows Palestinian forces moving into position next to the school and then firing mortar shells at Israeli troops in another part of the city. Israeli forces then returned fire in self-defense, which in turn set off a series of bombs Hamas reportedly set as booby traps in the school. So it was Hamas bombs that killed the people. Some 40 Palestinians who had taken refuge in the facility were killed. On cue, the Palestinians, international media, and world leaders blamed Israel for the massacre, quote unquote. But Israeli officials noted that it was Hamas that had actually committed a war crime by engaging in hostilities from the cover of a crowded, protected area, knowingly putting unarmed occupants at risk. Fourth Geneva Convention, Annex 1, Article 2, Article 28 of the same convention gives legal backing to Israel's right to return fire on the protected area. A spokesman for UN relief and works agencies insisted in remarks to the press that terrorists are not allowed inside the agency's schools. The spokesman was reminded that terrorists had fired from grounds of the same school in the past and that one of the teachers at the UN school in Gaza had been revealed to be an Islamic Jihad bomb maker. Well, Israel is suffering during these days bad press. But Israel is having to defend itself. In the final analysis, we need to come down on the side of Israel. Don't forget God's promise to Abraham, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. He said that to Jacob, father of the Israelite nation. I'm J.R. Church. See you again tomorrow with our analysis of the news.